Hey, what's up, guys? It's Expertin, and I hope you guys are doing well. Today, I have an absolutely broken build for you guys. Like, when I say broken, dude, I mean broken. Dude, you guys will not believe this build that I just came up with. This build is insane, dude. You will be raining down hell on enemies, literally. Alright, so first up, we're gonna start off with the subclass. So, Super, I chose to go with Daybreak because Daybreak is really good for ad clearing. Although you can go Well of Radiance, it doesn't really matter, but I prefer Daybreak for ad clear. Your Rift, you can use any Rift here, honestly. Phoenix Dive could be good for scorching enemies, but it honestly doesn't matter. Glide doesn't matter. Okay. As far as melee wise, you definitely want to make sure you have Incinerate Snap. This melee is busted. Like, it's so insane for ad clearing, and you will see later. But here is what it reads. Snap your fingers to create a fan of burning sparks that explode in scorched targets. This ability scorches enemies, and it does it in a wide cone too. It is absolutely nuts. And then we have Solar Grenade. Now, the grenade doesn't really matter, but it felt that Solar Grenade was the most effective. So I would just suggest going Solar Grenade, because Solar Grenade is really good for continuous damage over time and clearing out ads, and it also applies Scorch to enemies for a very long time. Okay, as far as aspects wise, this is the most important part of the build here. Okay, you absolutely, and I mean absolutely, need Heat Rises. This is super important. What Heat Rises does is whenever you hold your grenade, it will hold you in mid-air for a set duration. And whenever you get kills while in air, doesn't matter for what source, it can be your super, your grenade, your melee, your weapons, it doesn't matter, it will extend the timer, and you can literally go infinite with the time. But yeah, okay, for Touch the Flame, this one is also essential here. I mainly have this in the build because it just increases the potency of my grenades, which is always nice for ad clear. But in this case, since we're going to be using Solar Grenade, what it's going to do is it's going to not only increase the duration of my Solar Grenade, which is great, but it will also create this really cool effect where it like shoots out these little, almost like fireballs from the side. You'll see in a minute. It's really cool. But yeah. Okay, now let's get into the fragments. Okay, as far as fragments, I'm going to start off on this side here. The first fragment that you need is Ember of Torches. What this does is that whenever a powered melee hits a cabana, it doesn't even have to be a kill. Just hit on target and it makes you and all your allies who are close to you radiant. And what does Radiant do? Well, Radiant, what it is, it's essentially, it's just empowerment. So basically what it does is it gives you and your allies a damage buff. It's really nice. Okay, second fragment here, we got Ember of Combustion. Final blows with your solar super cause targets to ignite. This is great for ad clearing. And it also synergizes with the third fragment here, which is Ember of Blistering. Defeating targets with solar ignitions grants grenade energy. This will allow you to literally spam your grenades and just blow everything up. And finally, the last fragment you will need is Ember of Solace. Radiant and restoration effects applied to you have increased duration. Now, this fragment is extremely powerful. So, FYI, the base duration of the radiant buff that you get from hitting an enemy with your melee, it's only 5 seconds, which is close to nothing. But when you have this fragment on, it triples it. Triples it to 15 seconds, which is nuts. Okay, now for the second part of the build, we're going to move on to the actual mods. How I made all this happen. Okay, as far as... Okay, first of all, before I even start, It is very important that most of your armor is solar because solar 3.0 and the mods. And here's why. Okay, the first mod you need is Bountiful Wells. This is a very powerful mod, and I almost never take this off. I love this mod. But yeah, basically what it does is whenever you would only drop one well, so for example, like I don't know, melee well maker, you kill an enemy with your melee, you get a single elemental well. What this does is it literally doubles it. It is nuts. So essentially it doubles all the wells that you drop from all your abilities. So you get a grenade kill, you drop 2 wells. You get a melee, it's 2. Rift, 2 kills. Weapon kill, 2 wells. Okay, as far as the exotic, I chose to go with Necrotic Grip. Now, I know that there's a lot of people making videos about Sunbracers, and Sunbracers are also amazing. However, the reason why I say you want to go with Necrotic Grip is because it just makes the ad clear potential of our melee ability so strong. It's honestly dumb. And the issue with Sunbracers is that you have to have your melee up. So if you use your melee and you you don't hit a target, or if you just don't have it up, it's just basically useless to have Sunbracers. And on top of that, the poison effect from Necrotic Grip, the DOT, the damage over time that it initiates, it actually stacks with the Scorch effect from Solar 3.0, believe it or not. So whenever we use our melee, not only is it going to burn them, but it's also going to poison them. And with Scorch, the longer that the Scorch is on the target, that's the more damage they take. It increases over time. And the same thing can be said for Necrotic Grip and its poison effect. It's the same thing. The longer the target is affected with the poison, that's the more damage they take over time. And when it racks up, it can do some damage. Like I'm telling you, it can actually do some decent damage over time. Okay, now for the next mod, Melee Wallmaker. This is very important. So whenever we get a kill with our Incineration app, which is really easy by the way, this melee does some pretty good damage in a wide cone. It's pretty hard to miss your targets too as well. Yeah, whenever we kill an enemy with our melee, that will also spawn 2 melee wells on top of the 2 grenade wells that we will be dropping from our solar grenade. Okay, next armor mod you need is Elemental Ornaments. What this does is that whenever you get a kill with a matching weapon that matches your subclass, in this case it's solar, of course, it will also have a chance of dropping wells. Now it's not very consistent, but if you kill multiple enemies within a single shot, like a rocket launcher, Gjallarhorn here, it substantially increases the chance of dropping a well. And the last 2 mods that you will need for this build, this one is extremely important. Font of Might. This mod is very powerful for damage buffing, and what it does is whenever we pick up a magic elemental well, which will be solar in this case, we will get a hefty 15% damage buff for our solar weapons. And then you want to combine that with Bomber. Now ideally you want double Bomber here, but I didn't feel like infusing this because I was just too lazy and I didn't want to have to waste the materials. But you definitely want double Bomber here. And also you could actually get both of these solar. That would be ideal. So that way you can have Argent Ordnance, which is a rocket mod. And what that does is whenever you shoot your rocket, whenever you charge your light, you get a nice damage buff. And yeah, now as far as the weapons, it really doesn't matter. Although ideally you will want to have at least 1 solar weapon. So in this case, I highly recommend Gjallarhorn or Xenophage. Xenophage would be very good because if you haven't known, machine guns actually just recently got a what? 20% buff, 25% damage buff. It's huge. And Xeno is actually back, baby. It's really good now. Don't sleep on it, guys. But really, any solo weapon, I would say personally, the best option is probably just to go with Galahorn. Or if not Galahorn, then Sunshine or even Cartesian for extra damage. The new SMG, Callus Mini Tool. And yeah, I mean, all you need is a solo weapon. And now I'm going to show you guys the build in action, and you guys are going to see exactly why I call this build insane. Alright, so let's go over here. Let's kill this nightmare here, get the ad spawning and stuff. And I will show you how absolutely ridiculous this build is, honestly. Alright, so when you're first going in to combat, you want to hold your grenade to get heat rises and kill as much enemies as possible. Okay, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's try it again. But yeah, that's what you want to do. Hold your grenade, get heat rises. And also, I forgot to mention this, but when you have heat rises on, whenever you get kills in the air, it will actually give you a small amount of your melee energy back. Alright, let me see if I can get my grenade back here. Show you guys. Alright, there we go. I got heat rises. Get kills in the air. And look, everything just dies. Like, it's absolutely insane. Look at it. And you can spam this too, because whenever you're in the air, like I said, any kill will give you melee energy. Doesn't matter what kind of kill, melee, grenade, anything. And whenever you pick up a soul elemental well, you also get a damage buff for your solo weapon, which is Galley. And look at this. It's absolutely nuts. Look at this. Like, what the heck? It's so crazy. Yeah, this build is bonkers, man. Look at that. It's ridiculous. Whenever you hit an enemy with your incinerator snap, which is the melee, that will poison enemies and scorch them, aka burn them. And also, whenever they take enough scorch stacks, they ignite, which essentially just means explode. And we get grenade energy. Alright, let me show you guys one more time the build in action. Getting kills in the air. Watch my melee meter here when I'm in the air. Look, I can just spam it. Look at this. It's disgusting, look. Stupid, like, literally. This might be the most busted ad clearing build in the entire game right now. I'm pretty sure it is. It has to be. It just keeps going. Yeah, man, this build is really powerful. And it just keeps going. Oh, and last thing. Each time that the poison from the necrotic grip hits enemies, it will regenerate your melee energy based off how many enemies you hit with it. And your grenade energy too as well. Because of impact reduction, whenever I do damage, whenever with my melee, necrotic grip, or the snap, I will get a portion of my grenade energy. And yeah, this build is freaking amazing, dude. Look at this. Enemies just fall over. Infinite. It just keeps going. I can just spam my melee and all of my abilities. And also, infinite damage buff. because we're creating so many wells that we essentially have infinite damage buff for our Galahorn. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the build. As you could see, it's pretty strong and it's very, very overpowered. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. I just want to share this very powerful build that I made myself for the new Solo 3.0 for you all. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing to my channel. Like, comment, all that stuff. And have a great day. Thank you all.